Hello, everyone. This is Yonks with REtoken, the real estate DAO, and we are live and always very excited here. And Mrs. Yonks is going to be leading the new platform team. One of the things that we have committed here in REtoken relaunch, which is all of December, is that we biddle an inclusive and platform agnostic community. And earlier in the year, we leaned very heavily into Discord and feel really good about that decision. And now is a good opportunity. One of the things that we heard the last several months is that Discord is confusing. And for those people that don't have any experience in Discord or a chat type of environment, we did hear your concerns. And that's where we're at today. We're evaluating two platforms, really. We looked at some other ones on the list, but these are really the two that made our short list for where we're at today and to go forward. One of which is Mighty Networks, and the second one is Circle.so. And there's really two things here that we've got, in my opinion, that are the most important considerations as far as this platform agnostic. We've got some really good workflow that we've created with this events. We have a live stream, and if you're out on the live stream, make sure that you chat on the live stream. I'm going to say hello right now. We've got this amazing channel on our Discord as well. So if you're on the live stream, throw some YouTube comments out there, Facebook, wherever you're coming from, because we know that those platforms love the live stream engagement. And I will be chatting a little bit on the live stream myself while Mrs. Yonks is leading us through this process. So the two things, again, to circle back, are the events. We have, like I said, good workflow in Discord right now. The other opportunity is to really be thoughtful about our voting and governance process, because we have, when we were setting this up, Discord was the only consideration. And now that we're at this exploring this platform agnostic ethos that we put forward in this WeBiddle REtoken relaunch. So again, taking a look and seeing what that looks like, because that's not something that I don't think Tyler, in our previous experience of Mighty Networks, was really a consideration. So while we're evaluating, those are really the two things that I would like to see us have a good and so here's what it looks like in Discord. Here's what it looks like in Mighty Networks, and then here's what it looks like in Circle, and then hopefully too that we'll get some automation around those things, whether it's the voting or proposal process, or whether it's the because it's not just the temp check that we need to be cognizant of. I mean, then we need to communicate as well, and then after this, for those that are available at 8 o'clock, we're going to have probably like a 5-minute break here, but we're going to be having the content team. It'll be our third call, and we'll go more into detail as far as what is all this business about the REtoken relaunch. And with that note, I'm going to kick it over to you, Mrs. Yonks, and if you could just share with us who else hanging out with us on the Zoom, that would be fabulous. And I'm going to pay some attention on the live stream, and over to you, Tyler.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. So we've got Rhinestones joining us. Good to see you here. Okay, so we've got Yonks, Amy, Blurs, Crush, JM Luther, and Rhinestones. Thank you guys all for joining us. Close this down. Okay, so let me share my screen real fast. And so the first thing I wanted to talk about was the SEO and the whole idea for the bounties. So are you able to see as I'm clicking through my screens, is this all showing up?
Yeah, I can see you're on the Financial Planner DAO Google.
Okay, perfect. I just want to make sure this whole thing was showing up. Okay, so the first thing that I wanted to show you guys was some of the SEO that I'm going for. So there's a guy named Adam, super smart guy, started Financial Planner DAO, which is actually Planner DAO. And so if you just Google this, this is some of the SEO that I'm going for with us. When you just Google this, the first thing that pops up is him. And he as you start going in, planerdao.io is his website. So you can see this. Their LinkedIn, a bunch of their stuff is on the front page of Google. And just for comparison, I ran some of ours. So we've got really good SEO for REtoken. If you're specifically looking for us, we're showing up. Our website, our Twitter, our LinkedIn, Facebook, like we are most of the first page of Google, which is great. But if you're not specifically looking for us, real estate tokenization, if you guys can see, I actually went down to page 10 of Google and we're still not on there. So we've got some work to do on the SEO for a general term like real estate tokenization, especially because so many of the things are ads right now and there aren't that many organic links on each page. Also, real estate DAO, I got down to page 3. In the middle of page 3, we are, I'm going to double D it. Welcome, double D. On the middle of page 3, our Twitter shows up. So we've got some on the Twitter, and then so we've just got a little bit more SEO to do. So I just wanted to show you guys that and start, so everybody can start thinking about backlinks. I put in here on the agenda backlinks as a bounty because once we've got all of our brand, I would like somebody, and this is probably going to be a little work, so maybe 100 REtoken or 200 REtoken, to go through all of our links, all of our old YouTubes and everything, and put links into our snapshot and our new website and all of our, so we can start getting better SEO. So with that, I want to stop right there for comments, questions. What do you guys think? Has anybody done SEO before? What do you think?
I know people have entire professions on it. At a lead generation company I used to work for, they had a team, and there are outsourcing solutions you can do. I think like even Square and stuff provide a SEO optimization. There may be other options, but they're paid that I've seen.
I'm most interested in just making this a very simple user experience, because that's the whole underlying goal of why we're even looking at a platform outside of Discord anyways, because we overwhelmingly said that Discord is too confusing, too busy. So we want to just make it super simple, keep it super simple. That's one of another BITL proposals under this REtoken relaunch. So I'm most interested to hear feedback from the community, because right now we need to make a decision whether and SEO should definitely be a component. And like from my perspective, one must in the must-have category as far as from a features is that we need to be able to create content on our own domain. So like being able to have a custom domain is, in my opinion, a must-have. And that's one of the still things that we'll kind of have to figure out. And there's a lot of conversation that will blur, because like we're not sure, like this is under a new platform team right now. And it could have potentially probably been categorized under a working groups, which probably would have made more sense in the overall context, is to categorize this as a new platform working groups instead of a team. But we're leaning heavily into this team dynamic with the new teams of REtoken relaunch. So we're not sure if we'll still use new platform team after we make this particular decision. And a lot of these conversations will kind of blur over time into the content team. And that's one of the reasons that we very intentionally like have structured these conversations to be pretty much back to back to some degree, because like the opportunity to, and we'll go more into that. Go ahead.
Jason, I'm going to cut you off because we got a lot to cover. So just a couple things, guys. One thing that we do want to start doing is adding our snapshot into everything, because snapshot ranks so highly. That's a really easy way for us to get this. Just to give you guys an example, I had a client that in my old career he had a situation with the SEC, and because SEC.gov is such a prominent website that not YouTube, that Google thinks is important because so many people tap it all the time, that every time you Googled my client's name, like the second or third link was this SEC website. So the opposite of that is when snapshots got a lot of juice and we're constantly tagging the snapshot, that's a good way for us to get more juice. And that's why we're going to do that. So Blurs, you're right. SEO is a whole career. I do want to just be really intentional about how we're backlinking and how we're thinking through some of that stuff. So on to the next. I'm going to go to Mighty Networks. I wanted to show you guys Planner DAO. I think their Mighty Networks is really good. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to look at it. And for those of you who got my note, I wanted to show you this because if you had a chance to look at it, the way that this thing is organized, I think is really good. The first thing that they do is they introduce the bounty board, which is brand new. They're saying exactly who they want. They are establishing the working groups. I think this is a lot of the same stuff that we're doing in Trello, but I just think this is really clean. It's really nice. So this is the kind of content that we want to create for topics that we think are really important. When this was what I was mentioning before, are you familiar with Coordinate? Yes, it's a great opportunity for me to just push REtoken and post our video. So thank you guys for being open to being totally transparent, because when I need to make a point about something in another community, it's just great to say, hey, I've got an example of what we're doing and provide another backlink to our stuff and juice our community some more. So I would like you guys to start thinking about the topics that we want. These are some of their topics. We can either do this now if you want, or we can do it later. But these are topics that they think are important, and you can follow the topics that you want. So you can see that a lot of people, I think this community has maybe 600 or 700 people in it, but they're tagging stuff as questions and videos. And I know I saw Teresa, you popped in, welcome. I saw that you're posting some articles. Yonks posts a lot of articles. A lot of you guys that are posting research. Blurs, you posted something about Lofty, and that was something that we thought was interesting enough that we ended up buying into it. So this research is really cool. It's interesting. And so I want you guys to start thinking about topics of what topics you think are important. And then from an event standpoint, this is something that I think would be really cool. I don't know if any of you guys are like Zoom happy hours. This is kind of a fun way to connect and be social, and as the community grows, I would like opportunities to hang out with you guys when everybody can just have a beer or have a soda and just hang out and just chit chat. I'm hoping to see some of you here in East Denver so we can meet in person, but it's just fun. I mean, this community is great, but it's also just fun to connect and be social and build relationships. So we would like to do that. We also want to add in-person meetups. Jason and I started hosting events on Meetup, but mostly virtual events. We're looking forward to getting back to Denver and hosting them live. And if any of you guys want to start hosting REtoken happy hours or social events or information meetings in your own cities, we'd welcome you to do that. And so I want you guys to start thinking about what kind of events that we want to have. And does anybody have any feedback or comments on topics or events so far?
Yeah, and one of the things that I would like us to do, and I don't know if it makes sense here tonight, to create an event. And I was actually thinking of just doing that on I just haven't had the bandwidth for like one of our main flagship events, like our community call coming up on Wednesday at 7 o'clock, which I think we're up to 17 now. That'll be our 17th community call. Just so that people again can have some experience like RSVPing in, because one of the reasons, if you didn't know, one of the reasons that we reward REtoken for RSVPing to our events is it serves as social proof. Like, nobody wants to go to an event or participate where they're going to be the only person there, and that's the wonderful thing. So that's a little why that we reward REtoken. So the opportunity for us to create an event in Mighty Networks and in not on Planner DAO, and I'm glad that you're showing. And there's another related blockchain education network, I think is it's actually an even larger community than Planner DAO. I'll throw a link in there here in a moment. But that's one of the things that I thought would be a great exercise, because again, the two things that I really want us to see is what it looks and feels like from a user experience for events and the governance and voter participation. So really having that to really immerse ourselves in Mighty Networks, what that looks like there, Circle, and then, and one of the things too, to just set some expectations. We have no expectations that somebody needs to participate in both Discord and Mighty Networks. And we actually anticipate that the conversations will look very different, especially fast forward 6 months or a year from now. The conversations will probably look very different on Mighty Networks compared to what they look like on Discord. The platforms look and feel very differently. So that's just kind of putting out there some ideas and some expectations. Oh, back to you, Tyler.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, Jason. Does anybody else have feedback, questions, comments before we move on? Before anybody else jumps in. Jason, could you please grab who's here so that I don't miss that? I'm sorry, who was just talking?
This is Amy. I signed up for Planner DAO, and I was reading through it. And you're right, it's for financial people, and people have been back channeling me already. I couldn't talk very much about what we're doing because I didn't know what we signed up there for. So if you're just wanting to have an assessment of that platform, I'll just stay quiet and look what other people are doing. But this gave me an idea, and I don't know how difficult or how easy it is to create somewhat the same kind of platform for us that are involved in real estate. Just a thought.
Yeah, I think that's a great thought. So one of the things I was really excited about, I just joined Planner DAO, not recently. And one of the things I was so impressed with was as soon as I joined, like within an hour or two, somebody sent me a message and it was really friendly. And he said, "Hey, I'm basically the Walmart greeter of Planner DAO, and I'm just here to say hi and welcome. And do you need a tour and whatever?" And it was just really friendly and it was high touch. And it was something that I thought was wonderful. And it just really made me want to be part of this community. And one of the things I really liked, and Jason and I interviewed Adam Bloomberg, who was one of the founders of Planner DAO on our podcast. And one of the things that he had said was, we're financial planners and wholesalers and tax lawyers and real estate agents and whoever, basically anybody who touches finance in any way is welcome. And so that was something similar to what we wanted to create. So I just really liked the branding on that. I thought that was just really good. So Amy, I'm glad you joined it. I'm sorry, I should have warned you guys that it was mainly for the people in the financial industry, but pretty friendly bunch. They're not gating it of saying you have to be insurance licensed or securities licensed or real estate licensed or whatever. They don't really gatekeep it. And I just think the whole experience was really positive. So if you get any other feedback, we'd love to hear that too. Who else has thoughts, ideas? All right, cool, keep going. Okay, so the next thing on here was companies. This was a little bit different because a lot of people aren't identifying their company. This is something that I thought might come up if we end up more heavy in professional realtors. So I know that we've got a handful of professional realtors in our group right now, and I don't know if most people brand as their firm or if they brand as their individual company. I don't know how much companies is going to come up, but I did think it was interesting that we could start using that if we wanted to say, oh, there's 50 people from Keller Williams in here. This is really cool. This is a great opportunity for me to network in my company in an industry that's more spread out geographically. So I just thought that was interesting.
I think that's going back to the companies. I think that's an opportunity that we can relabel that. I don't think that we have to, like when we were doing with the Disney Arena, I think that we had that as like maybe live stream channels or something like that. So I think that's one of the things that can be easily adjusted, because like we've talked about having a meetup groups and stuff like that. So just wanted to throw that out there because that's definitely one of the, I think, opportunities is to really allow ambassadors to lead their own and kind of develop their own like sub communities within this very larger ecosystem, if you will. And this would be an easy tool to allow them to do that. So back to you, Tyler.
Okay, thanks. So under groups, I thought this was really cool. And this would be probably where our teams would fit, of saying the ambassador team, the content team, the dev team, all of our different teams we could put here. And then under courses, we could also put our courses here. And one of the things that I really like about this is we could have our professional courses, our designations here, gate kept, and offer them. Or if we just wanted to do a what is real estate tokenization, like a 15-minute YouTube that we can just embed in here as a kind of a freemium content generating thing. We can do either one of those or both, and we can gatekeep them individually. So we can make some classes free and some classes paid if we want to. And I just want you guys to start thinking through what kind of courses you think we should offer, and do you want to be part of the team that's developing them? So something that I'm really interested in, once we get our network launched and it's going, the next project on my plate is I would like to start developing the courses that go into it. And if anybody's interested in being part of that team, just something to think about, just reach out to me or Yonks, let me know. So that's kind of how they were organized. I really love this site. I think it's really well done. It's definitely not perfect, but if anybody has any ideas that you think that we can use here for REtoken, that's a big part of what I had for this. So what do you guys think about the site, the way it's organized, and what do you think? Is there anything that you don't like, or is there anything on here that you think that's really effective?
Well, why don't you show like where we're at right now with REtoken.mn.co. And this is another decision that we need to make too, is we have like, I think REtoken.community is a domain that we could potentially put this on. We could also potentially put it on a subdomain like community.ret.team, which may make sense. I really like the ret.team because it's like so short, putting a longer subdomain like community on the front side of it. And like we've got a member category. Is that something that's turned on that I don't think was turned on in the and that's under the try these features. And this is one of the things too, some of the functionality might be reduced because we had that 14-day, and you can see there on the banner, your free trial has ended upgrade. We can still continue to explore this like basic functionality, like the events and the voting governance process as far as like the temp check. My expectation is that we can work with this to get what I consider a must-have, like getting on our own domain or subdomain. That's definitely something that we'll have to pay for. And there was a Google Docs that we were working on in one of our previous that had a matrix on it where some of that, and that might be a good thing to bring forward here. One of the other things, and I don't know if we want to just kind of put this on a parking lot and come back to it later. I got really excited when DSign and I participated in the Unlock Protocol WordPress plugin upgrade. And that started getting me to think about that there's more opportunity because we have, and when earlier, like during this ad hoc working group that we had earlier today, for working towards getting ret.team set up on WordPress multi-site, we did during that live stream. And if you're curious, feel free to go back in our channels here and check the video because it is available there. And where I was going with that, it was an absolute fabulous experience. And I think currently who is on the call, and Tyler and Amy can attest to how easy it was to create an account on tokentown.net using our wallet because of the unlock protocol. And where I'm going with that is I absolutely believe that there's an opportunity to create the integration with unlock protocol and Mighty Networks. And one of the things I'm actually going to be proposing, and I don't know what that looks like, this is kind of me planting the seed, and it's not something that we need to have a lot of conversation about here tonight, and it's not necessarily even related to the platform conversation, except it will greatly enhance the functionality. Because like right now, and do this real quick, Tyler, go to get this REtoken.mn and go to like an incognito window with that, because that would basically be the experience that somebody saw when they would be coming to this site without being logged in already. And you can do a Command Shift in, will do a new window if you want to keystroke it out there, a new private window. Well, either way, I was just gonna have Tyler demonstrate what it looks like, because the process, as you know, whenever you go to any website that you're not in, it's normally like either sign up using your email address or sign up using Google or Facebook or Twitter or whatever the case may be. And the opportunity to make it much more streamlined, and since we are
Yeah,
Go ahead,
this says
Tyler.
that too. It's so at the top, I don't know if you caught this. It says,
I think you're just sharing all that we see right now is you're still logged into Mighty Network. So you might be just sharing the window instead of the whole screen.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going on. I saw you look like you were clicking around and such around the same webpage.
Yeah. But it was such a well, and why don't just for the sake of showing how easy, just go to tokentown.net here on another tab and just show people how easy it was to create using that. So again, the thought is to create a team under Triple Win Foundation that will drive this initiative. And I don't know what that's going to look like as far as the proposal coming from I'll throw the link in the chat, because you got to go to the and anybody else that wants to, that's on the Zoom as well. Let's see.
We've only got 20 minutes left, so let me get through the rest of this, and then so just to go back, if any of you guys have any experience with SEO, or you're interested in helping us get all the backlinks, let me know. That'll be a bounty. We'll put that on Trello. Start brainstorming what topics you want for groups, what topics you want for content, and just all the different things, so we can build the Mighty Network the way that we want. I don't want to put every topic from Discord in Mighty Networks, because then we'll just be creating another Discord and that won't solve our problem. And then if you want to host an in real life event, like a local meetup. And then Jason, what did you add about Coordinate? You asked me to put this on here. I didn't know what you wanted to cover on that.
Well, yeah. So this is the first epic. So why don't you just go to Coordinate, so that we can make sure that we've got the people that are going to be engaged. And this is something too, because it did come up during our weekend sync yesterday. And we want to set the expectation is that this is, because we're already providing rewards for people that are participating in here. The expectation with Coordinate is to facilitate getting things done when we're not in an event type of a setting, like, so this is the first, and go to the admin tab here real quick. So this is who that we've got in here. We have a different representation on the live stream, and I'm going to get a screenshot here as far as the participation here. So this is something, if you're wanting, Mrs. Yonks and I are the admins of the new platform team. following a similar dynamic. If you don't want to be, and let's do this, let's based upon the conversation yesterday, let's reach out to make sure that everybody's going to be actively participating in the new platform team. And the people that are on the call or that are wanting to participate, I mean, this is literally the first day of the first epic for this new platform team. So the opportunity to plug in here, participate with us while we're evaluating, because like sometimes the best perspective is a fresh perspective, because like Mrs. Yonks and I have looked at Mighty Networks before. We've set up a Mighty Networks, and then like we don't want to forget about Circle, and so that is the opportunity for people to engage and participate. Like we're all learning together here, and what things look like today will be very different than a few months from now, but join the fun. We have fun here too. So that's all I got on the coordinate.
Sure. If you are, so I'll reach out to everybody who's on here, make sure they want to be on here. If you're not on here and you do want to be on here, then just send me a DM. I'll get you added. Let's go. Okay, let me see what else we had on the agenda. Token Town, coordinate. Oh, the designations. So we're talking about doing to build 3 designations. One for beginners, one for experts, and one for professionals. So we're going to call that low, medium, and high. And we are going, so we can do the affiliate program through Mighty Networks. And our thought was we'll develop it together, or whoever wants to develop it, and award that in REtoken. And then whoever signs people up, then if you sign people up individually through your link, then maybe a 25 or 50% affiliate to you. And I'm probably going to propose that we spend some REtoken on just getting it out there through ads or through whatever. And then any money that, or any money that comes in through people that just see REtoken advertisements all go into our treasury. So if anybody's got a different idea on that, completely open to it. I do want to get these designations into the market because I think there's a big demand for the education, and there are a lot of people that are making designations. Some of them are awesome, some of them are terrible, and I really want ours to be clean and professional and helpful and interesting, and to be the level of expertise that we have and can bring to the community.
And to summarize, I think you're talking about pre-selling the certificate program, the fractionalized real estate, where we're looking at doing the 3 tiers. Is that what you're referring to here?
Yeah. So I want to make sure that Jason and I got ourselves in another situation where we pre-sold, or we actually bought into a pre-buy, and the guy said it's not quite ready. It's been 6 months. It's been pretty frustrating because the designation was fairly expensive, and it still looks like it's not done and ready. So one of the things that I want to make sure is if we either sell it when it's ready or we're very close to having it ready when we launch the pre-sale. I don't want people waiting really much time at all. I want them to get in, have an amazing experience, get a ton of value out of it, and then really feel like they got something out of it.
And it's still not determined or finalized yet where that's one of the opportunities, especially with Mighty Networks, is to house the courseware for the fulfillment of our certificate program in this type of a platform. Now, the question will be, we might discover that this WordPress Unlock Protocol plugin is so fabulous. And that goes again back to the proposal that I was advocating, because we already are intentionally putting forward that we will develop this certificate program around some type of NFT. And those conversations will definitely unfold in 2022, but we really believe that the certificate program and the ambassador program, but we believe that the certificate program will be a source of revenue for REtoken, the real estate DAO. And we also believe that that will be an important component of laying a solid foundation for the direction that we believe that we should go in, as far as and there's opportunities too with like some DAO-plomacy here with Planner DAO, because my expectation is that these professional services like financial services and real estate professionals, as we know them today, will start to blur increasingly so, especially with the proliferation of security tokens and digital assets. So, and it might be good for those people that are, really wanting to be professionals in that space. I haven't gone through it myself, but the CDDA, I can't remember what the acronym is, but that's a solid certificate program. So, again, us being DAOplomets, if you will, here, and fostering some good DAOplomacy between Planner DAO. And, for those, like, one of the things I put forward, I'm personally planning on getting my Series 65 securities, as well as my real estate, whatever license it's called, just so that I can get more experience in the niche that we're creating this DAO in ourselves. But that's just some more thoughts as far as the DAOplomacy opportunity with Planner DAO as well. And we'll link up, I don't know if we have or not, but like Tyler said, we do have a very solid interview. Tyler just nailed it so well. Ryan was also on that. I can't remember if he was actually, I think he was just watching, but definitely saw the footage. Tyler really nailed the interview, delivered very well on that conversation with Adam in another channel, the DAO Hack, that we also put some content out.
So we've got about 10 minutes left. I want to wrap this call up here a little before 8 because we do have another call coming up, and I want to give everybody just a 5-minute break in between. Jason, do you want to talk about the website strategy and what that's going to look like moving forward? And Amy, and I'm not sure if Design's on this call yet, but if any of you guys, or Double D also, if any of you guys who were on the call this afternoon want to talk about the website strategy, would love to hear what you want to do with that, because that's going to be an important part of our content strategy moving forward.
Yeah, and I think I don't know necessarily so much about the strategy, that because we've already thrown a lot here at everybody, but the biggest thing is that we're just wanting to make things simple, because again, I'm largely believing, and who knows what the conversations will evolve as far as what kinds of conversations happen with whom in Mighty Networks or Circle compared to what's happening on Discord. So, that's really up for the community to decide, and it's up for whomever likes engaging in those channels. And again, don't have any expectation. Now, it might be a very different conversation if you're wanting to wear an ambassador hat, like the opportunity to, potentially provide a higher touch onboarding experience for people. Like Tyler already alluded, a very positive experience that she had. And I've put forward very preliminary and some proposed workflow with some additional REtoken bounties. So the opportunity to potentially take that sort of opportunity that's a Discord only workflow process and potentially create something like that, where if somebody comes in, like joins our community through Mighty Networks, that's a very different onboarding experience. And again, the better that we can do as far as just creating a very simple and welcoming onboarding experience where people feel welcome to our community, because we have so many opportunities for people to contribute. And the better that we as leaders get at developing a framework where people are able to contribute, receive some rewards, move the organization along faster, put us in a more professional and well-polished front, the better that will be for everybody.
Yeah, that's great. And somebody in our community has a really, really good personal branding strategy, and that is Rosetta, who I don't think is on this call tonight, but I did want to show you guys her website because I think it is just super. And oops, she's not dead. Where's that? So I just wanted to show you guys her website because I like it a lot. It's so it's really clean, cell phone, all of her stuff, tons of value, lots of freebies for people on here. I just think this website is, it's just so interesting. I thought if I were looking for a place in Nashville, she'd be a top pick to do this. And it's all pretty clean and on one page. So this is just an example of a website that has lots of value, and it doesn't have to be a cluttered site to be really good. You just, if you are looking for something, this is exactly what you can do. Favorites, she's got a blog. I mean, this is something that I think it's just a really nice site. And one of the things that I really think it would be interesting to say, so we've got people in our website that are already good at branding themselves professionally. So let's just look and see what kind of expertise we can lean into. So if you guys, if any of you guys have professional branding that you like, share it with us. We love picking all your brains and seeing what all everybody has. So I thought Rosetta's site was really good. And if any of you guys have a similar site for your personal brand, would love to check that out too. Yeah. So with that, I did want to wrap this call up here pretty quick. Does anybody have any last thoughts before we close it out? And then we're back on at 8 for our next call.
Hello, everyone. Blackfire here. Hi. I just want to say thank you to all of you for this holiday season. I'm pretty sure you have reservation and commitments to your friends and family, so stay safe. Look after yourself, and hopefully you get to see all over again after the Christmas and the New Year's. So thank you all for it's great to work with all of you, great people indeed. In terms of website, I think this is probably real estate. What Amy is showing is pretty good, of course, but we are also connected to blockchain. So I think the chain link, so chain.link, if you can look into it, Amy, please. So Chainlink website is pretty good, in my opinion. It's simple. It's easy to manage. The points and the details are very articulated, easy to navigate as well. So just my suggestion. Thank you.
Yeah, this is a great one. We'll definitely take a look at this one. So thanks for sharing that, Blackfire. And yeah, this is great. And if any of you guys are interested in being part of specifically the website redevelopment, let me know. We're doing that as a project, and the content team is developing, and the Mighty Networks launch is going. And I do need to do a formal vote. It sounds like everybody really likes Mighty Networks. I do want to make that formal. If a bunch of people like Circle and I don't know that, I want to make sure I'm not running over those people and make sure everybody's on the same page. So I'm going to do a formal vote, and then we we'll figure out if we want to spend money for the upsell. But yeah, if any of you guys want to be specifically on the web team, reach out to Yonks and DSign. They are heading up that initiative. So with that, it's 5 minutes till. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you guys all for participating. Make sure that you give us a thumbs up and drop a comment on our live stream on YouTube. The link is in the chat for bonus REtoken. And if you're watching online, smash that subscribe button, destroy it, ruin it for all other people. And everybody else, we'll see you back here in 5. Thanks.
Real quick, just created, I noticed that the sesh event wasn't created. So those people that are on that are wanting to participate in that, make sure that you RSVP. And this is one of the things that trying to get better at. I'm still committing, not trying, getting better at, and continually committing to get better at is getting the sesh events on here. And that's one of the things that we'll talk about at the content team call. So anyway, we will see everybody on there in just a few minutes, but that did just get pushed out there with the Zoom link, and we'll be back on here in 5 or 10 with the time to go live at 10 after 8 Eastern time. So wonderful job, Mrs. Yonks. Looking forward to biddling all the things in 2022. All the things.
So many things. Okay, thanks everybody.
See you guys in a minute.
All right, sounds good.